We turn overseas into the latest in the search for Flight 370. New data from a French satellite now indicating what may be debris in that same area of the Indian Ocean. It comes after those two other images, that first satellite image from an Australian satellite Thursday. Last night here we showed you the image from a Chinese satellite, the debris roughly the same size, the distance between it all about 79 miles. Our team flying over the Indian Ocean as authorities now prepare for the search underwater as well. ABC's David Wright reporting in tonight on his flight looking for clues.
We set out today with the Royal Australian Air Force, our call sign Rescue 103. This P-3 Orion, it's old, but it's still one of the best sub-hunters ever made.
Our search area today is 1,100 miles to the southwest.
Like everyone else out today, we're chasing whatever it was in that Chinese satellite image. Promising pings from the radar, but getting a visual? Forget it. Even at 250 feet, the cloud cover is too thick. It's been a problem all week.
This is the poorest night we've had.
We circle back 3 times to that spot, but no visuals.
Will advise this morning. Standing by this second. Rescue 103 out.
So they pass the radar contact on to an Australian warship nearby and get back to searching our assigned grid. The new leads, including those unidentified objects located by a French satellite, may have narrowed the search area, but it's still tough going.
We've been out 3 hours and there's just enough fuel left to get back, but one final chance here, number 8, an earlier radar contact to check out. We're almost on top of it.
Even if they do find a debris field on the surface, the heavy wreckage would likely be miles away and miles down. They'll need unmanned submersibles like these.
So it's like a drone that goes underwater.
Exactly.
They'd give a clear picture of the wreckage, including the black box recorders.
If the plane was there, you would actually identify the wing, the plane, the whole lot, the whole thing. Oh yeah, absolutely.
But getting it out, that'll be a whole new challenge. In the 2 weeks since Flight 370 went missing, the total search area has been bigger than the continental U.S. Investigators now believe they're finally on the right track to finding the missing plane, but they're still no closer to solving the mystery. David?
David Wright and his team back from that flight over the Indian Ocean tonight. David, thank you. I want to bring in our aviation analyst, retired Colonel Stephen Ganyard tonight. And Steve, this intense search for the debris, this is very different than the search for the black box, and we were reminded of this in the Air France crash.
Exactly, David. Remember that it was debris found 5 days after the crash with Air France, but it was 2 years before we actually got to the black boxes.
But you were reminding us that in the Air France crash, the pinging, it turned out that wasn't working.
That's right. There was some sense that those pingers had failed because they never heard them. They were right on top of the wreckage within days, but it led them on this wild goose chase of an expanding search zone because they just couldn't hear the pingers.
And of course, there's no guarantee the pinging is actually working in this case either. In the meantime, it was last night here, viewers were asking about drones, why we weren't using them flying over the Indian Ocean. But as you heard David Wright just report there, that they actually are preparing to use a so-called underwater drone. How does this work, Steve?
Right, they're quite useful because you're not putting anybody at risk. These drones can go to much deeper depths, they can carry lots of extra gear, and they can stay down for a long time. So they'll be quite useful in helping us find any potential wreckage on the bottom of the seafloor.
All right, Steve Ganyard with us tonight. Let's hope so.